Hello and welcome to another session of brand management. We are moving on to the fifth module of the session, that is business strategies. In the previous modules, we have discussed what is a business, what is a brand, how can we create a brand, what are the different methods of branding, how it is actually influencing a business growth. All these things we have discussed in detail in the previous four modules. In this module, we are discussing how business strategies are important in branding a business. The strategy as a word which is being coined by the military force of the country. They use strategies, they use long-term plans to attack their enemies or maybe to protect the nation from the enemies. They consider it with the statement that strategy in war or maybe in the military, it is known as winning a war without fighting it. Winning a war without fighting it. So that is a strange thing. Normally, militaries they used to win the war by fighting the war, but they have other strategies not to bring the country into a war and uh, maybe having a victory over the enemy using some plans or strategies. So that way, the word has been coined uh, to different other phenomena or maybe to the different other situations. So, like here, business strategy we discuss. So, we'll understand what is a brand strategy or a business strategy is all about. A brand strategy is the long-term plan to achieve a series of long-term goals that ultimately result in the identification and preference of your brand by consumers. Very important one. When it comes to business, it is very important to understand that we are conducting a business that is going to attract the consumers. So we must have the plans and strategies which are long term that will ultimately result in the identification of our brand by the consumers. And a successful brand strategy encompasses the brand mission, its promises to its consumers, and how these are communicated. See, for every brand success, they should have a brand mission. We are reaching somewhere using some methods. We should reach to a goal with some methods. That is called the brand mission. And it we have some promises to be provided, maybe in terms of quality or in terms of quantity or in terms of value. In different statements, we can give promises to the consumers. And these promises and values should be communicated to the consumers well in advance and in proper methods. This method or this process is called a brand strategy is all about. So I'll give you some examples of some successful brand strategies, some very familiar brands which you would like to hear about. I'll show you that. One is Airbnb. You might have heard of this brand. This is Airbnb, that means air, bed, and bread. This is a concept that is actually substituting the concept of staying in a hotels or maybe in other apartments, rented apartments. We can actually give our homes for this kind of Airbnb. Airbnb is actually a US based startup which is actually connecting all the houses in the international tourism sector for vacation rentals. So Airbnb's incredible success can be attributed to its unique brand strategy that sets it apart from traditional hotels and vacation rentals. It is not a traditional hotel or vacation rental. They offer a home away from home experience. That is their strategy of brand building. And that they allowing guests to stay in a local homes instead of staying in a hotel which is very luxurious and costly. Rather than that, for a budgeted tourist or maybe a tourist which would like to stay in a homely feeling kind of a thing, they can actually prefer Airbnbs. Their mission is all about making people feel like they belong to anywhere in the world. Even if we are in a distant place or maybe in an international country, we should feel like staying in a home. That is the concept of Airbnb. And Airbnb's brand strategy is all about sharing captivating stories from hostess and guests across various digital platforms. So they'll inspire the customers or maybe the travelers or maybe those who take the Airbnb for rent to share their stories with others and making them inspiring through maybe through YouTube videos or maybe to Instagram videos or reels or blogs or vlogs, any such kind of they'll inspire and make a deeper emotional connection with the audience through their strategy. And this approach works wonder in the digital age where people crave authentic and personalized experience. And by sharing real stories from real people, Airbnb builds trust and transparency within their community. Plus, these stories are easily shareable on social media, helping spread their brand message far and wide. So this is their strategy of building a brand using their different methods. See, building a brand with the real people, giving them an experience. This is what Airbnb is doing. And another brand which is very famous is called Apple. Very fascinating brand, very much awaited brand for all customers. So what Apple is doing? Apple's global success can be attributed to a combination of Steve Jobs' visionary leadership, groundbreaking technological advancements, and an exceptional brand strategy based on four key principles. All the time, Steve Jobs is a person behind, even if he's not alive, he is a person uh, giving a global success and presence for a brand called Apple and their technological advancement as well. So they are focusing on some key principles. One is offering a carefully curated selection of products. In what kind of range or in category they are providing very carefully curated products, which is well designed in packed with groundbreaking technological advancements. And they focus on high-end market. Their strategies like that. They're not focusing on cheaper products or maybe budget products or not affordable products. They focus on high-end market, affluent people, and rich people who can buy their costly products. And they're prioritizing profits over market share. Very important. They don't want market share. They're not, believing on the quantity of sales. They need profits, even if they sell less compared to Samsung or any other Chinese phones. They are prioritizing their profit. That is their strategy. And the fourth one, creating a halo effect that makes people crave new Apple product. Even for the existing customers, they building a halo effect to buy the updated versions of Apple phones or maybe other products. For those who are not customers, they are creating an effort that without Apple phone we are incomplete. So people would normally try to buy the product. That is an ambition of many of the people to buy an Apple phone. So that is a kind of halo effect that these kind of brands have already been taken up. So in continuation, it evokes an emotional and distinctive brand personality among the customers. And for those who using this phone, the feeling or emotion is that they're having creativity, freedom, innovation, passion, and empowerment in technology. So that is why the people or the users are having a feeling or emotional connection with the Apple's brand. And Apple has built an incredibly loyal customer base with a genuine sense of community among the users of the product. That is called the Mac community. That may be in airports, maybe in laptops, or in phones, or in tabs, anything. They have created a Mac community. So people believe that they are belonging to a community or a group of people all around the globe. So now on we are discussing the different elements of a brand strategy or what else contributing to a very good branding strategy. So if you look at this picture, you can understand the major elements of a company's branding strategy. We start from the right side of this picture. We'll start with the purpose, consistency, emotion, flexibility, employee involvement, loyalty, competitive awareness. So these are the different elements or ingredients that should be added to a branding strategy, which can produce a greater result or maybe a good output in branding strategy. First one is purpose. Every brand should have its own purpose. See, as every individual is supposed to have a purpose in life, in order to position a brand in a market, we should actually have a purpose. A brand should serve a purpose in the market. That is very important. Purpose can be of two types. One is functional. This concept focuses on the evaluations of success in terms of immediate informational reasons. That is, the purpose of, for example, the purpose of the business is to make money. It is functional for a business. But when we use a product, the customer should get a benefit, functional benefit. And second one, it is intentional. This concept focuses on the success as it relates to the ability to make money and do good in the world. So while making profit, that should bring some benefits or intentional, you know, benefits to the customers. That is what the purpose is all about. See, if you look at the world famous international furniture brand IKEA, what is their purpose? Just look at that. To offer a wide range of well-designed functional home furnishing products at price so low that as many people as possible will be able to afford them. So this is the purpose of IKEA's brand, to offer a wide range of, that means variety of products should be provided. And it should be well designed and it should functional purposes provided there. Functional in furnishing home at a reasonable price and which should be affordable to all. If you look at this business idea, IKEA's vision is not just to sell furniture, but rather to create a better everyday life, makes our life smoother, functioning. That is what their business idea is all about. And this approach appeals to potential customers, demonstrating their commitment to providing value beyond the point of sales. Even after the sales, we feel comfortable with the brand, we feel proud about the brand, we feel value about the brand. So that is the kind of purpose that IKEA is serving. So like this, every brand should possess some brand purposes which will make the customers, you know, into next level customers and make them more connected to the brand. Second one, a brand strategy should always have a consistency. That means it should have a continuous effort in maintaining the brand strategy. The key to consistency is to avoid talking about things that don't relate to or enhance your brand. If something is not related to your brand, that means if your product is not having the required quality or maybe standards, you should not actually talk about those things. And if anything that doesn't enhance your brand, that should not be a part of your message to the public. To give your brand a platform to stand on, you need to ensure your message is cohesive. That means it should be connected, it should be interrelated. And ultimately, consistency contributes to brand recognition, which fuels customer loyalty. How can we ensure that brand consistency? Because we should have a style guide, which means we should have a pattern of communicating the message, brand message. And we should have different branding zones. That means social media, television, radio, those things. And keep your voice consistent across all social media channels. Any kind of media that you use, you should consistently echo your message or maybe keep your message on all the platforms. And consistent style of images. In whatever channels, the customer should hear or listen or watch the same style of images or maybe the videos. That will ensure a consistency. If you look at this Coca-Cola's platforms, one is from Instagram, one is from Facebook. If you look at that, they are following the same color theme, the same strategies, same messages communicated among the all same platforms that they follow to communicate message. So this kind of consistency should be there while communicating message to the customers. Third one is emotion. We know that customers are not always rational. They don't think rationally, they don't have logical thinking sometimes. They may have emotional thinking more than the rational thinking. So, how else do you explain the person who paid thousands of dollars more for a Harley, that is Harley Davidson, rather than buying another cheaper, equally well made bike? How can we explain that situation? Why people are behind this kind of luxury bikes or maybe cars? There is there was an emotional voice in the whisper, like buy a Harley. We have a feeling that we should buy Harley. We have an emotional voice inside our mind whispering we should buy a Harley. Because Harley Davidson uses emotional branding by creating a community around its brand. It began HOG, that is Harley Owners Group, to connect their customers with their brand and each other. So this is why they feel that they are a part of a premium customer group or a community that can share the same value and the taste and preference. So this is why they are ready to buy a luxury bike which is very costly compared to other same made or well made bikes. Then, even though there is consistency, we should have some flexibility also. Very important. In this fast changing world, marketers must remain flexible to stay relevant. How can we do that? While consistency aims to set the standard for your brand, flexibility enables you to make adjustments that build interest and distinguish your approach from your competition. In order to sustain in the market with the competitors, we should make some changes in our branding strategy or maybe in our product protection or maybe costing, anything else. We should have a flexibility on that. I'll give you an example. You might have heard of this Old Spice, which is a brand used by the men probably. They have teamed up with Wieden Kennedy to position its brand for a new customer base. Between new commercials, new websites, new packaging, and new product names, Allspice managed to attract the attention of new younger generation by making strategic enhancement to its already strong brand. If you look at this picture, you can see that this was the picture. Left side was a picture before the Allspice, uh, connecting with Viren and Candy. But later on, they have changed their packaging, their product, you know, structure, everything else, and attracted more customers. So this kind of flexibility should be there in branding. The fifth one is employee involvement. Very important. What kind of brand it is? The employees' involvement in branding is very important. Employee involvement is the participation of employees from all departments in various activities that help the business reach and maintain its goals, mission, and brand position. So they should be in a position that they are capable enough to contribute something to the brand. Their abilities must be wholeheartedly or voluntarily contributed for the brand's promotion or branding. That is the culture that we should create. The reason a business is successful is not just on leadership, but the contribution from the most, if not all, the employees. All the employees should contribute something towards branding. So this should be a part of our branding strategy mantra. The sixth one is loyalty. Loyalty is a critical part of every brand strategy, especially to support your sales organization. Highlighting a positive relationship between you and your existing customers sets the tone for what potential customers can expect if they choose to do business with you. Loyalty is some word known as repeated buy or repeated relationship with the same business or brand. So that how can we create such kind of a loyalty with the customers? Very simple. Sometimes just the thank you is all that needed. Sometimes the customer needs only that. They expect a thank you from the seller. Other times it is better to go above and beyond. Sometimes we have to do much more than just saying a thank you. Write them a personalized letter or send them some special pack or gift. Ask them to write a review and feature them prominently on your website. But I've seen this letter. It is a letter given to all the customers by Hilton Hotels. So this kind of personalized letters will make them believe that they are part of this brand and they'll continue to buy from the same brand. The last one is the competitive awareness, 7 point. Take the competition as a challenge to improve your own strategy and create greater value in your overall brand. You should know that how the competitors are acting. If you look at this picture, we have different competitors in different ways reaching to maybe a same goal of profit making or maybe a market share. But we should know the brand strategies of the competitors. Brand probably sell a similar product or service as many other companies, but they are in business because their brand is unique. Even though we follow some techniques of the competitors, strategies, we should be a brand that is unique in the market, that should be identifiable by the customers. By harping on every move your competitor makes, you lose that differentiation. So if you're following the same strategies of the competitor, we are actually losing our differentiation. So what we have to do is we have to understand the strategies, but if some are to be followed, we can follow that. Otherwise, if we can make some changes in the strategy which is more better than the competitor, that can place a differentiation for your product in the market among the customers. That is very important. So this is the end of the session. I'm so thankful for you to listening this session. If you have any queries, you can actually share in the comment box or you can message me personally. Thank you so much for watching.